Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, they just dropped a new trailer for the live action How to Train Your Dragon. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into this. But if you are new to the channel, please do us a favor. Like the video, subscribe, click that bell, all that. It's completely free and it helps us out a ton. And yeah, we're both looking forward to this quite a bit. It's up there from like my most anticipated, right outside of my top 10. But I guess the big question is like, who is this for exactly? And why did this need to be made? And, you know, I have my thoughts on that. But obviously, we'll discuss more after we watch it. Yeah, we really like that first trailer, though. Real tease. And we'll see how much more they give us in this. This is like 2.5 minutes compared to the first one, which was really like an iconic. Like,
it was barely like a minute.
Like, yeah. But
they released a TV spot recently, and I really
they
like
did
that, so.
with the Super Bowl, and yeah. So hopefully this hopefully this is good, blows us away in some capacity. But we'll talk more about it after we react to it. So, but without further ado, let's go ahead and react to this new trailer for How to Train Your Dragon. Oh, the trailer before the trailer.
The mini trailers. All right, I'm glad they didn't show anything though. That's what they should start doing. If you're gonna do that, just don't show nothing.
Of the finest dragon fighters from everywhere the Vikings ever traveled.
Okay, I like the production design of everything for sure.
Ooh.
Oh wow, look at that shot.
Ooh,
oh,
the way the sparks.
All of our lands. It's time, Hiccup.
Okay.
God, he looks so good.
I have to kill you.
He looks so Universal. Dude, Universal Studios is gonna sell so many toys. Look at his eyes.
It's too cute.
He's like, oh my god.
It's too cute to kill.
Like, it's too cute.
It's okay. I won't hurt you.
I really like his voice too. Like, it really does give me Hiccup vibes. Like by his
iconic.
voice.
This summer. Oh, look at the designs of all the dragons.
In case you forgot, our parents' war is about to become ours. Figure out which side you're on.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
We've killed hundreds of us.
And we've killed thousands.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god. Let's go.
That looks sick.
You all need to see this.
I'm not one of them.
Wow, you've lost everything.
Look at that shot. Oh my god. That's
I
so
love
fire.
What are you gonna do about it?
Probably something stupid.
Well,
Yep, give him the wing
Right.
Crazy.
or the
We're
tail.
gonna get the
or
theme music now. We're gonna get the theme watch.
Stick with me.
Yep, I can already hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the paddle. They better do this scene justice.
I mean,
Not that scene, but the first
look
fight.
at that.
Come on.
Oh, there it is. That's the
Oh,
first
it
fight
looks
right
so
there.
good. It looks so fun. I know exactly
Oh
what scene
my
that is.
goodness.
Let's go, man.
The terrible terror.
It's like the size of my...
All right, everyone, that was the new trailer for How to Train Your Dragon, and it looks good. Like,
It does.
there's
It
no
looks so good.
huge like CG problems that's like jarring.
Yeah,
or
no, everything
something.
looks so sharp, and probably because the vision was probably so clear from the start. Seeing as these are like the same creators behind the animated movie, like the vision
and
was
they've
probably
already
so.
got a material.
They
to
got
work
everything.
off of.
Like, they were probably like, "Hey, VFX artists, this is what it's exactly."
Yeah, just
Not like I'm
this,
gonna guess, like, try to
but
make
with
something
real
for me, like-
renders. This, but with
Yeah.
photo real renders, please.
The biggest takeaway for me for this trailer is I'm so glad that the world feels so fleshed out and so lived in. Like, it doesn't feel like a cheap knockoff copy of like Burke and the costumes of like Vikings, and it doesn't feel like a cheap like version.
you
It feels
could
like
fall
an actual.
into
It
that.
feels like if the animated movie never existed and this was like a new IP, like it feels like that. Instead of it feeling like, oh, it's trying to be the animation, it just looks a lot cheaper in live action. everything looks so expensive, lived in. The cinematography of some of this stuff is like
I do wonder how much
really
this
good.
movie is. Actually,
There's a
let me
clear
look
like
that up.
vibe too here. There's like a gorgeous vibe about this film. It's like this beautiful. It's like this vibe of like a beautiful like sun rising. Like that's what the vibe of
I
the
do
film
love the
gives me.
location shooting.
And yeah, like as far as like those technical elements, like cinematography, production design, even some of the acting, like the scene between Hiccup and what's bro's name? I'm forgetting his name. Played by Gerard
Mason
Butler.
Thane or
Both.
Stoic?
Stoic. Yeah, Stoic. Just a little like banter between those two going back and forth. Like I could really feel like the acting, breathing. You know,
Yeah,
you get that stuff
it's
in
a
live
lot
action
more
from good voice
real
actors. Like
yeah, in animated movies, it's a lot
in
more
live action,
tamed.
it's
a lot more
yeah.
tamed.
In live action,
Here
you can feel that
get
emotion.
raw. You can get more raw here.
Yeah, you can get a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Like not raw, but a lot more
Authentic?
brutal with it. Seeing as
Oh.
these are like it's like Viking culture and like stuff like that. You could get a lot more brutal with this. So I do hope that they change some stuff as well though. While we would like it to be a part of to be just like the animated movie because it's basically perfect. I do hope that they make some liberties here to change some things that make it
at
unique
least
to
I want because
to itself.
as much as I would love for this to or not as much as I would love, but rather I think I'm okay at the prospect or possibility of this literally just being a shot for shot remake in live action. I do hope they give me something that gives me the reason why this was a good idea in doing outside of just making money. And yes, do you know, a lot of people are out here talking about who is this for? What are they making a live action version from a movie that has barely released like just over a decade ago? And to that I say there are a lot of people, youngins, a lot of youngins that did not grow up.
A lot of young bucks.
There are a lot of youngins that were born like the year of How to Train Your Dragon. And they did not watch those movies. Yes. People that grew up with iPads and TikTok in their hands. And those people tend to, and this is unfortunate. It's the same. It's like my issue with people that can't watch a movie with subtitles. It's like, unfortunately, a lot of those children have grew up in an era of the MCU and you know, every other movie being $200 million with insane CGI and VFX. So they don't quite admire animated movies, and they don't kind of revisit these movies that are critically acclaimed, you know. And so that's realistically who this is for. The people that A, have a stigma against animation and refuse to watch it, and B, just weren't there to watch it, weren't there to experience that, weren't there growing up with the How to Train Your Dragons coming out every couple years and seeing your favorite characters come back and getting really the plushies and all that.
That's why I'm really glad this trailer looks the way it does.
And also,
it doesn't seem like it's trying too hard to get a new audience, whereas it could seem like a new audience would gravitate towards this just because it looks good. It doesn't seem like it's just trying to be the animation and come watch it because it's the live action version. It seems like it's like, come watch this because it just so happens to be a live action adaptation, but it looks like a really good ass movie.
Yeah, and I do think the other reason is simply just
warming up to Nico Parker too as Astrid. Wasn't really.
I liked her voice.
Wasn't super into the
really
casting.
good.
I was like, I can see it a little bit because I just really like Nico Parker, but I wasn't really into the casting, like just on paper. And then the first teaser, I was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. Here, we're seeing a little bit more of her and like what she means to Hiccup. I kind of like how she feels in this movie in that role. It feels like she belongs. It doesn't. I think
this was probably made not as an excuse, but I think this was a result from the park section they're building in Universal Studios. I do think that's definitely why this was probably made.
Okay, I can see that. I'm not sure which one came first, but I could see that.
I think they went, we have ideas to build a real Burke. Hey, everyone, you come back and do this movie in live action.
And it's crazy because
to bring it back relevant.
It could be like totally paying off for them. Like not
Maybe.
only in terms of this movie making money, but let's just be honest, toys and shit or merch is flying off the shelves at Universal Studios.
Here's my
I saw
question.
an animatronic of Dart. I saw an animatronic.
Yeah, it was adorable.
Of Dart.
It was
and I was
adorable.
like, give me literally like 1,000 of those. Like,
yeah. And I will say, I'm curious if this like blows up and makes a ton of money.
If they're gonna make sequels.
And are they just gonna be 2 and 3?
Do the other movies.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm like, I wonder if there's gonna be some different stuff here. I would like to see some different stuff because, again, like the trailer presents itself not in a way that's
know
like,
the length?
this is just.
Do we know the length of this movie?
I don't know, but the trailer presents itself in this way that's not like adhering to that live action adaptation like stereotype where it's just like, hey, come watch because it's just a live action adaptation. Even though it is that, the trailer lends itself to being like more like it breathes through that it's like so detailed and expensive that it could be its own thing because all the detail is there. It's that situation it kind of makes people want to know more about stuff. Like, let's be honest, as far as like Burke and like the whole How to Train Your Dragon universe, there is genuine interest there in terms of lore and stuff.
That's what I was going to get to. Was they
there.
could do more world building with live action, making it longer. You know, a lot of people do think, or like more people are likely to watch a 2.5 hour live action spectacle movie than a 2.5 hour animated movie. Like most
I would
people,
say even a 30-minute episode of an animated show. Like,
yeah,
honestly,
it's just,
I'm just being honest here.
Yeah,
like,
it does garner a broader audience in the way, and hopefully they can take advantage of that by like adding on to Burke's lore, world building more.
Yeah,
they do have that. I guess there's a possibility of that being the case. We don't know the runtime of this movie, but I do feel like this runtime might be like, shy just over 2 hours.
When you tell me you're going to build out a whole Universal Studios land on How to Train Your Dragon, you have this live action movie coming. What that tells me, at least, is that there's expansive plans for How to Train Your Dragon. Not just, oh, we want to try to get, you know, some monetary gain from the How to Train Your Dragon IP. No, what it seems like they're doing is like building something very expansive that could be a lasting IP like a Harry Potter, like in terms of pure merch sales and like just pure like just monetary value. It seems like they're trying to build up How to Train Your Dragon into that. Yeah. And so that makes me think there's elements in this live action movie that there's certain liberties that they're gonna take to get to that point in terms of making that IP. I wonder what those choices are.
And while the animated movies were extremely successful, I do think they recognize the fact that that trilogy has garnered like a cult success over the years. Like it was already critically and financially acclaimed and successful.
Super.
Now it's like, successful. You know,
now it's just
people hold it up there and they cherish it, and it's probably their most just overall, like, because the Shrek movies were extremely successful financially, but they didn't quite get the amount of prestige. I think this overall is DreamWorks' best outing franchise overall. It's like this and Kung Fu Panda. Really, those are the only comparable ones with DreamWorks in terms of financial, critical, prestige, and just the way people talk about them. How to Train Your Dragon is one that over the years has just gained more success, popularity.
I could fully see a timeline where this movie makes like a huge opening weekend, right? Like a huge opening weekend, and everybody's
years
like
later drops a week later. So
or not an opening weekend per se, but just a huge opening. Like the first weekend, like numbers are like much better than expected. I could see a timeline and a possibility where that happens, and immediately DreamWorks announces that there's going to be a sequel. I'm just saying, I see a timeline. Again, I see the expansiveness. They're trying to make this like the the stuff you could do with Burke in terms of like merchandise and like
I do
in terms
think
of like just
I don't want this video to go on any longer, but you did just
imagination
put
is-
an idea in my head, which is the advantage of redoing this in live action is, for example, if they never did this and they did like a prequel to How to Train Your Dragon, like an animated prequel, a lot of people would be like 15 years too late. Like this is too late. But redoing it, now that opens doors to keep it fresh. So what you can do, for example, and I feel like this might happen, let's say this movie is a resounding success. Do not be surprised if a prequel Paramount or a prequel Peacock series is announced, or like a Burke, just a Burke series announced or something like that.
Again, they're clearly trying to build this out into like an expansive IP. So there's more than meets the eye. There's more like to be explored than just this live action movie. Like this live action movie isn't it. Like this isn't it.
I do think
you're gonna get so much more stuff, and I just think success for this is gonna just shoot that into the sky. Like it's gonna speed up the process of that like by like 1,000. If this movie is like $1 billion movie.
Well, this is definitely something they want to take advantage of for their parks. I do think it'll give, obviously it will financially help their parks, but I do think they're going into this trying to not necessarily revive the franchise, but make it extremely relevant again to the point where it can be in the zeitgeist, to where if a prequel is announced or a sequel is announced, people will actually flock to the theater or be actually invested in it. But you guys tell us in the comments below, what'd you think? What'd you think about this trailer? How excited are you for the live action How to Train Your Dragon? Anything related to what we've discussed, we'd love to discuss with you down in the comments below. And if you made it this far and you haven't, what are you doing? You just heard us yap for like 15 minutes. Like the video, subscribe, click the bell, all that. It helps us out a ton, and it will be greatly appreciated. But other than that, it's been your boy Keezy.
Boy Kills.
And hopefully we see you all in the next one.